A truce ends. Within hours, military action resumes, as does the heated rhetoric. In his latest comments, the Russian president said Ukraine had shunned the road to peace.
Our country will continue to energetically protect the rights of ethnic Russians, our compatriots abroad, using all means at our disposal, from political and economic to the right of self-defence.
Earlier, there was confirmation that Ukraine's military was moving again against separatists in the east from Ukraine's parliamentary speaker.
This morning, an active phase of the anti-terrorist operation has been renewed. Our armed forces are launching strikes against the terrorist bases.
President Poroshenko told Ukraine he had dropped the ceasefire to free it from terrorists and marauders. A four-way phone call with Vladimir Putin and French and German leaders failed to persuade him to extend the truce. Ukraine says 27 of its servicemen have been killed since the ceasefire began on June the 20th, and Poroshenko's facing growing pressure at home for more action. In the event, it came as little surprise, according to Michael Houston of CMC Markets.
Was the ceasefire ever on? That's the biggest question. There's been so many breaches over the past few weeks. I think the fact that Mr. Poroshenko has called off the ceasefire doesn't really change an awful lot.
It may, though, increase the threat of sanctions against Russia. EU leaders said on Friday they were ready to adopt more punitive measures, possibly targeting new people and companies with asset freezes as early as next week.
I think going forward, I think sanctions are very, very likely, simply because I think there's a perception on the behalf of EU and US leaders that Russia isn't doing enough to rein in the separatists. And I still think, and I think unless that dynamic changes, then I think this crisis is going to continue to rumble on in the background for quite some time to come.
Slavyansk is one town where sporadic fighting continued during the truce. Ukrainian forces say they also foiled a separatist plot to blow up the local railway further north in Kharkiv. Confirmation, if needed, that Ukraine's truce and hopes for peace were shaky at best.